Reading aloud to you Disney's Pinocchio. Honesty. Tales of Virtue. Adapted by Gus Davis and illustrated by the Disney Storybook artists. Geppetto was a lonely woodcarver who lived with his pets, Figaro and Cleo. Geppetto created amazing toys, music boxes, and clocks, but he was especially proud of his little wooden puppet. "I will call you Pinocchio," announced Geppetto. Later that night, Geppetto looked up at a twinkling star. "More than anything else in the whole world, I wish that Pinocchio was a real boy," whispered Geppetto. Just then the blue fairy appeared. She was about to make Geppetto's wish come true. "Prove yourself to be brave and truthful, and someday you'll be a real boy," announced the blue fairy. She waved her wand. The puppet sprang to life. "My son!" exclaimed Geppetto. "I'm so proud." Geppetto picked up Pinocchio and danced around the workshop. The blue fairy announced that Jiminy Cricket would be Pinocchio's conscience. "What's a conscience?" asked Pinocchio. "It's that little voice inside your head that tells you not to do things you shouldn't," said Jiminy Cricket. Unfortunately, Pinocchio didn't always listen to his conscience. The next day, Pinocchio promised he'd walk right to school. But along the way, he met Stromboli, the puppeteer. "Come with me, I'll make you a star," said the sneaky Stromboli. "Don't do it," cried Jiminy Cricket. But Pinocchio didn't listen. Instead, he jumped on stage and danced with the other puppets. Afterwards, Stromboli locked Pinocchio in a cage. Fortunately, the blue fairy arrived to set Pinocchio free. "Tell her," Jiminy Cricket said. But instead of telling the truth, Pinocchio told a lie. Suddenly, Pinocchio's nose grew out like a huge branch. "You haven't been telling the truth," said the blue fairy. "Remember, a lie will grow until it's as plain as the nose on your face." "I'll never tell a lie again," he cried. "Honest." But Pinocchio hadn't learned his lesson yet. The very next day, he skipped school and ran off to Pleasure Island. "Pinocchio, this is a very bad place," cried Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Cricket was right, because before his very eyes, all of the boys at Pleasure Island started turning into donkeys. "What's happening to me?" asked Pinocchio, as he grew a tail. "I'm turning into a donkey too. I should have told the truth." With Jiminy Cricket's help, Pinocchio escaped Pleasure Island. He ran quickly home, but Geppetto wasn't there. He had gone to search for Pinocchio and had been swallowed by Monstro the whale. Brave Pinocchio wasn't frightened. He ran to the ocean and jumped right in. Pinocchio was swallowed by the whale, too. Pinocchio had a brilliant idea. They would build a fire and make Monstro sneeze. And that's just how Pinocchio rescued his father. The Blue Fairy recognized that Pinocchio had finally learned to be brave and truthful. She waved her wand and turned Pinocchio into a real boy. Safe and snug in his home, Pinocchio fell fast asleep next to Geppetto. Looking up at the wishing star, Geppetto smiled. "Thank you for making my dream come true," Geppetto said sleepily. "And thanks for teaching him to tell the truth," added Jiminy Cricket. Honesty. Honesty means telling the truth. Sometimes we're afraid to tell the truth because we don't want to get into trouble. But when Pinocchio didn't tell the truth, he only made things worse. Telling the truth isn't always easy, but it is always the right thing to do. Just ask Pinocchio. The end. I hope you enjoyed this Pinocchio story. For more Disney books read aloud, please check out my playlist in the description below. And for more stories, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and have a lovely day.